Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The clerk has an amendment. It is LCO, finally, 7825. Would you please ask the clerk to call in? I'd be allowed to summarize, sir?
Will the clerk please call LCO 7825, which will be designated House Amendment Schedule C.
LCO 7825, House C, offered by Representative Hwang, Harrington, Florin, and Labriola.
The representative seeks leave of the chamber to summarize the amendment. Is there objection to summarization? Is there objection? Hearing none, Representative Hwang, you may proceed with summarization.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The underlying bill addresses campaign financing, and this amendment proposes a 4-year delay to the implementation of the cost of living adjustment increase to campaign grants to candidates that are participating in the Citizens Elections Program, and also as a result, return the campaign grant amount back to its original dollar amount in 2008 when the Citizens Elections Program started. And I move adoption of this amendment, sir.
Question before the chamber is adoption of House Amendment Schedule C. We remark on the amendment. Representative Hwang.
Thank you. And I ask if when this vote is taken, it to be taken by roll call, sir.
The proponent of the amendment has asked that when the vote is taken, it be taken by roll. All in favor of having the vote taken by roll call signify by saying aye. Aye. That time I'm sure that it was 20% was reached. So when the vote is taken, it will be taken by roll. We remark further on the amendment before us. Representative Hwang.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We've talked much about shared sacrifice in this building, and I respect that portions of our governmental spending was properly allocated to protect the safety net of critical social services and ensuring that municipal aid and educational aid was properly allocated. The citizens of this state bear the brunt of this sacrifice. I feel their pain and the fiscal impact is widespread. But you know what? Do you know who didn't really suffer? And I will reiterate that government and the political campaign process did not sacrifice. In fact, campaigns were given grant increases in this implementer. Political candidates were given more taxpayer money to run political campaigns. Political campaign candidates will receive increases in their CEP grant in accordance with the Consumer Price Index as published by the U.S. Department of Labor. Candidates will actually receive taxpayer-supported monetary increases even when the federal government has decided to freeze the Social Security Cost of Living Index for our seniors and retirees. Where is that shared sacrifice? I applaud my GAE, Government Administrations and Elections colleagues, who recognize the importance of campaign finance reform and unanimously, joint favorably passed a similar campaign reform bill out of our committee, a bill that contained provisions suggested by this amendment. And I urge your support to this amendment to send a message that we, as legislators in this chamber, value and practice the message of shared sacrifice with our constituents. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Representative. Representative Hwang.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the second time. I want to follow up with the good chair of GAE. And first, I want to applaud him for his tremendous work in our committee and making some productive action that we've had this year. But I also want to add that this amendment does not in any way adversely impact a clean and fair election. We are simply asking that we show a symbolic gesture to the people that we represent, that we understand we cannot continue to increase spending without any accountability. We are looking at lowering the level to the standard that was previously acceptable and allow everyone to base their campaign on an equal footing. But we should not be asking taxpayers to foot this bill. And I don't think this amendment has in any way adverse impact on a clean election. It has no impact. At the end of the day, the elections will be regulated. And I would also add, as I mentioned prior, that we had an excellent campaign finance bill that passed out of our GAE committee. And I, for whatever the reason, don't understand why it was not called. But neither here or there. At the end of the day, this is not a bill in regards to clean elections. It's a fair and equitable reaction to the taxpayers of our state. Thank you, sir.